All right, folks, a little chair setting up music for me, please.
Rules and regulations.
Rules and regulations. We'll dust off that chestnut.
Yes, no song.
Yes, no, and we might even have signed the banners and set up the chairs.
Yep.
You might have just been witness to a new non-hit single.
Or that favorite, what the hell's next?
Why the hell are we here and who the hell's that guy?
Where are we?
And it's the end of the con as you know it, and possibly our careers. We're going to put all of this on a record for you people to purchase for pennies on the dollar at some point. But now, let's raise the bar.
Let's raise it.
On cool and hip and awesome. And bring to you the quintet of fabulousness. Rachel Miner, Ruth Connell, Elena Hupp, and Kim Rhodes, and Brianna Butler. Yeah.
I struck castles again.
Get the ladies in the scene, watch them all sit down. Never seen Brianna not heard a chair.
Chair dancing. Keep it up, no, keep it up, man. Keep it up. It's bad, boy. Sugar that boom, boom,
No problem.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, thanks, bye. Wow.
That's it. Thank you. Good night. This is a stunning turn of events. We've had Misha on a Friday, which was amazing, and then we have 5 of the coolest people on the tour right here on the stage. We're gonna get the hell off the stage and let the awesomeness happen, ladies.
Bye, everyone.
Hi guys, we love you. Like 5 of the coolest guys walking off the stage. Love you guys.
Morning. Is it still morning?
Morning.
Thank you.
I mean, it's so bright.
Hello,
Hi, guys.
everyone. I know. Hot
This
flash.
is an amazing group, right?
I mean, us or them?
Yes.
I mean, I'm admiring the group right now. This is a large, hearty group.
Yes.
Vagina. Yeah, you can wave. Yeah, you can wave.
Hi.
I see you. I love it. I love it.
Oh wait, I have a quick announcement that I forgot to tweet.
Go.
Margaret is in section F and she's bored. Please bring games to her. Margaret, will you please wave? Where's Margaret?
Margaret.
I don't know where Margaret is. Margaret.
Margaret needs some games.
Margaret needs some friends who can amuse her.
She got so bored, she's a no-show.
No.
There we go.
Where's Margaret? Margaret! Where's
she
Margaret?
is.
I have a bunch of people waiting. Look, just be nice to each other, and if you're bored, go find somebody else who's bored and sit down and play games with them. Okay, there's my personal PSA.
This shit's too expensive to be bored, you guys. And that takes me to my job. Hey, you know, yesterday we were talking about superpowers, and I said my superpower is to, if I had a superpower, sorry if this is somebody's question, it would be to sleep. And I fucking slept last night.
It makes all the difference.
Oh my god, I feel like I
So
did.
are
And
you
I've
on
had
like,
17
are you on
coffees.
full power today?
Full power.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I know.
It's actually scary, to be honest. Elena, do you want to switch seats? Or? Yeah.
Elena's like, she can just feel the heat radiating off of me. You said you were cold.
I did. Give me your vibes.
Okay, should we start?
Awesome, yes.
Okay. Is this Vic? Hi.
Hey.
I'm Melissa. I just want to say I love all of you first and foremost. My makeup today was actually inspired by some of Ruth's looks on the show.
Oh, yes. Let's just all applaud Ruth's looks on the show. Every time I see a screenshot of her on the show, I'm like, how did they? And then she's all, and then they're all, and I'm like, damn it.
It's only 2.5 hours in the works every morning.
It is some, that That shit's magic, man.
You are.
That's how people feel when they look at you. I'll take it.
But I also like how she's lit from like down,
Yeah.
so she's actually looks terrifying.
Yeah, and also you have like this massive shadow that's looming over you.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, this is for Kim. Like, I grew up watching Sweet Life on Deck on Disney Channel. And so I was wondering what it's like to go from acting in Sweet Life on Deck to acting in Supernatural. Like, you followed me from my childhood to my teen years, so I just want to say thank you for being a good actor in the shows that I watched.
Thank you. It's exactly the same except they gave me a gun. I will also say that I was not the healthiest, happiest person when I was doing Sweet Life, and I had a lot of ego about it. And you people, I love Supernatural, and I love it more because of you. However, I was not necessarily enamored of my time on Sweet Life until you guys, and you fixed that too. So now I'm so proud of the work and the people that I get to meet that have meant something to. So thank you for that.
Also, I just want to add, it's probably the first time that I've regretted not watching TV as much as I should have, because we all should grow up with him.
That's a very good point. That was a very good point. It's so funny. I said to Rachel right before this panel, I was like, I love doing panels with Rachel because she says the smart people thing. Case in point.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I actually kind of feel like I am growing up with you. It's still a work in progress.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Although
Thank
we
you.
all never grow up, I
Done.
Yeah.
You got it, sister.
Again, I just want to say I love you all. Have a nice day.
Thank
you.
you.
You too.
Very sweet.
And she's still a teenager. Actually, I've turned against her. Hello, what's your name? Where are you from? What do you want?
I'm Kayla. I'm actually from here in Denver. And my question is for all five of you. I wanted to ask what it's like to be strong, badass women and examples for women and girls everywhere.
Such an easy question.
well, first of all, we love you. Awesome. No, but also, I don't know, I don't feel like I am that, but I feel like I've always wanted that. So any part of me that is trying to appeal to that child that didn't have enough of that growing up. And I think we all need to be that for each other. And you guys are that for me as well, if that makes sense. I just think that we unfortunately, especially young girls and women, have grown up with a striking lack of examples in that area. And so we had to kind of live in our heads and our imagination, and maybe that's why we do what we do.
I want to talk about the term badassery for a second. Which I often refer to me and any of these women on here as badasses, but I don't think that there is an actual definition for that, which is kind of glorious. So you can make being a badass whatever you want. I feel like as much of a badass when I'm telling a motherfucker on a subway to shut the hell up, as I do when I quietly cry in my car about the ice cream cone that I just dropped. And yes, I do that. Ice cream cone is very important in my life.
Yes.
But I think that being a badass is something that you can easily come by. And I don't think you have to aspire too hard to it. Sometimes you can just be very proud of the things that make you an individual. And that in itself is being a badass.
Yeah, sometimes just getting up in the morning, right? I remember like being a kid and, you know, my mom would have an opinion and want to like talk to the manager or wherever we are, and you're so embarrassed. And as I grow up, I realize I do that to my own kids, and they're like, Mom, shut up. But I think to me, being a badass is just being unapologetic and recognizing like you honor who you are and your thoughts and your beliefs, and you're unapologetic about it. It doesn't mean to have an ego about it, and I feel like you can learn along the way and correct your behaviors, but yeah, just sort of being unapologetic. That's what I feel like all the characters on Play are.
You guys have taught me something very important. My baseline is fear. We talked about this yesterday. That's always like, if you dig all the layers off, you come down to, I'm really scared. And for a long time I thought courageous people weren't scared. And what you have taught me, and now what I hope to authentically set an example for, is that bullshit. Courage means being scared because you want something and trying anyway. And so that courage for me comes from wanting to be authentic and show up and be an example for you. So what's it feel like? It feels very grateful, because thank you. I wouldn't do it if it weren't for you.
This is why I text Kim when I have a problem.
But also, can I just say, everyone in this room is a badass.
Oh, yeah.
Because you managed to get out of bed today, and that's kind of what life takes. A lot of strength just to keep going. And as you said, I think we're all dealing with the fear. So, yes.
Yeah. I'm still trying to work out my answer. And it sometimes takes me a while to work out how I feel about something. And I suppose that means that I'm slightly overwhelmed by it sometimes. But that my biggest learning from doing this, and especially being in the conventions, is the bit about being in one big dysfunctional family. Because I'm an only child from a farm in the middle of nowhere. So it's amazing to me that I can be on Twitter and say something fucking stupid. And still that's okay. And again, it's because you guys give us the love and support to be our authentic selves and to be some kind of example. So it's what you're saying, it's a really cyclical thing. So I feel incredibly grateful, overwhelmed, and occasionally a little bit proud.
Hi guys, first I want to say you guys are all amazing, but I'm having a little competition with the rest of the cast on who can give me my senior quote, and right now all you guys are up against Misha.
No chance.
He's like,
Bring it.
Thanks. Okay.
What's Misha's?
when life gives you lemons, make ice cream.
Does it have to be when life gives you lemons, ...
No, it can be anything. It can be funny, it can be serious, it can be whatever.
Like, how about when life gives you lemons, throw them at fucking Misha Collins? Fuck you and your guess, Misha! Don't write that down. Don't make that
Too late, it's out in the Twitterverse.
Oh, I don't know if Misha says it. I don't want that to be how you're remembered in high school.
What did you say yesterday?
And Misha was like so mad. We came off
Oh
stage.
no, because
Right,
it was the I love animals, and then somebody brought a dog downstage, and the dog's name was Misha. And Misha was licking my face, and I said, well, I'll let this Misha tongue kiss me, and Misha was backstage and heard me.
But not only heard her, was also like, what the fuck, man? Give a guy a chance.
So, to be fair, I looked at him and I went, well, you've never asked.
But back to your high school yearbook. Does anybody else have suggestions?
I don't have a quote, but I have a question, because I tend to look at things literally first, and I always think with that life gives you lemons. I'm like, but lemons are awesome.
That's a very good point. I love
When
lemons.
life gives you lemons, say thank you.
Thank you. It's just what I needed for my cocktail or my hummus or...
Yeah, or to clean my counter.
Exactly. Lemons are put them on your elbows when you start getting old. Like
Really?
me. Yeah, they're good for your elbows.
Getting cold?
Exfoliating. Old.
Does it work on your face?
I mean, I think so.
It's really good in a hot toddy as well.
Ah, yeah.
That sounded so proper.
That's true. Who came up with that idea?
I know, right?
Yeah, because they're sour.
2 for Rachel. That's two. It's 2 smart people things. And before we came on stage, she was like, I don't got it today. I don't have it. I was like, we got you. And I'm just like, throw lemons at people. She's like, wait a second. Let's think of the existentialism at this point.
This shall henceforth be known as the lemon panel.
Yes. Lemons are very wayward when you think about it. You're like, what's wrong with lemons, man?
It's good to be a lemon as well.
Yeah.
Well, and what is this whole, like, I feel a little bit offended. Like, why do lemons need to be sweetened? Like, aren't we yummy as we are?
Yeah, don't eat on lemons. Why the lemon hate?
Exactly.
Hell, man. Let's start a movement.
Yeah. The lemon.
We are the lemon.
Yeah.
We are. Lemons, get them right up here.
They're a little sour at first, but they're good for digestion.
They clean everything.
They clean it up.
Lemons, get them right up you.
Does that all help?
Does that answer your question?
So we win, right?
Was that the quote? Lemons, get them right up you.
That's a high school quote. See if anybody understands
You are
that.
welcome.
I think Misha loses because there's a lot of people who are lactose intolerant. So
Lemons pass everything. They're vegan, they're lactose friendly,
That's right.
gluten tolerant. Yeah, lemons get them right up you. Aging. That's my quote.
Yeah, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
And they
So
smell
much.
good.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
So sorry.
Sorry. She knew what she was getting into. She stood in that line for God knows how long. She's like, I'm gonna ask these salty broads the weirdest questions, and they're immediately gonna get dirty. Nailed it.
It's true though, if you imagine sucking a lemon, your glands.
Sucking a lemon. Sucking a lemon.
Scottish. Sucking is Scottish for sucking.
Woo! You are on fire today. And by the way, I didn't point it out, but in her very first answer, she said fucking.
I thought that too. When she was talking about how she's like being more open on
Saying
Twitter,
something
and like
fucking
she's
stupid on
wearing
Twitter.
it on panels.
We have officially corrupted her. And I'm enjoying it thoroughly. So when you imagine sucking a lemon, your salivary glands start to go. So I just was imagining getting a lemon right up me and something else happened. It's like that egg Kim bought us.
Wow. Do you need a napkin?
I'm learning so much, you guys. Remember that egg Kim bought us for our birthday? That's right. That's what you're thinking. Kim bought us what's it called? A yoni? A yoni ball. So we're having a birthday dinner with all of our friends, and I was like, what is this? She's like, you put it in you. Does anybody not know what a yoni is? Now you do.
It's like a crystal you put in your vagina.
It's a large-shaped marble egg. It's spiritual. Yeah.
It's spiritual.
It's also good for Kegel exercises.
Yes.
But you can do that imaginary too, like right now.
you can also use a lemon.
With a lemon.
A small lemon.
Talk about lemonade.
Lemonade, I swear.
We're gonna get shut down.
This fucking poor 17-year-old is like, guess I'm gonna stick a lemon
We're
in
never
my
gonna
vagina.
get to be on stage together again.
What do we think of that one?
Lasted.
We're super good. Worth it.
Thank you so much for your question.
You guys are winning so far, but we still have like Matt, Rich, and Rob.
They're idiots. They'll be fine. Just kidding. Rich will probably come up with the best thing ever. And you can tell him I said that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And sorry.
Good night.
And congratulations. Graduating is a big deal.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. So yesterday, Kim, Brianna, you two met my 6-month-old daughter Wyatt,
Yes,
and I want to get her into either acting or modeling, something from a young age. My husband is completely against it. What would you tell my husband?
Make money. Make it.
Well, so my questions are why on both cases.
I really like the industry for certain people. Like, there's definitely the actors you look at and you're like, that's his side of it. Mine is the good side of it. He doesn't want us to push her into things she doesn't want to do, and her hate it, but us force it. And then I want her to prosper and get to see the world and have fun doing it.
I'll just jump in because I was acting from very, very early age. For me, it was wonderful and exactly what I needed because I was always a little bit of an outcast and a little bit bored and didn't understand people, and it was somewhere I fit and I was really happy and I thrived. But I have a lot of friends that wasn't the case, and it was something that I I begged my parents when I was 2. If I could do it. I would recommend kind of waiting till she's old enough to get a sense of who she is and what she wants. I also taught 2-year-olds for a little while, and one of the things that I did not like was that sometimes I saw kids kind of being put into a mold that was the idea of who they should be. And I think it's really important to kind of meet your kid and check in and find out what they like. And it could be something where they thrive, and it could be exactly right. Their instinct might be precisely on point, but I would, if you have the chance, I would kind of wait to check in and see. Because maybe they're like an introvert and they're really interested in science, and this would be a nightmare for them. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I want to jump in there too. I started my career at 12. And it was something that I chose and my parents supported, so they didn't put me in. So, sometimes I wonder what I have done otherwise. My kids also, one of my daughters things keep happening to her. She keeps getting approached and agents keep, scouting her, and she's done a few things, and we've sort of had the same discussion. I'm like, I don't, she says she's really sweet. She's like, I want to be like you when I'm older, Mommy, and I love what you do. And she's actually really good. Her instincts are really good. But I'm sort of letting her take that path. Also, just so you're aware, it's a lot of work to be a stage mom.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, I thought about putting my daughter in commercials when she was a baby because I wasn't kind of able to work. And it is all you. It is like being an actor times 12. Like, it is so much work. And you have to do things to babies to make them cry, and that makes me feel uncomfortable. Yeah, you have to like pinch them and stuff.
But on the flip side, we all know Catherine Newton. She was a child actor and stuff, and I've talked to her mom about it because I was wondering what that experience is like from the mother's perspective. And she had nothing but positive things to say. She's like, oh man, we have the best memories. We've met some great friends along the way, and clearly Catherine's doing amazingly. So, yeah, you definitely don't want it to tear you guys apart though, so, weigh all the options.
Yeah, that's probably what I would say. There's always time, and it's more about how you can come to terms with each other, right? And find a balance.
I have 2 things to contribute. The first is, whenever I approach a situation with an expectation of its outcome, I will always be disappointed. If I am in this moment because it gives me joy, then I win. If I'm in this moment because if it happens to turn out a certain way, then I will be happy, I'm fucked. So,
again, I want to record.
if you can, the first thing to do is, can you detach from your expectations of what her career is going to look like? Because all of these wonderful things that you're thinking about might happen, they might not. So can you find joy in the moment? The second thing I want to say is my husband and I have the belief that agreements are made based on the information we have at the moment. I only have the moment right now. I take a step, I have new information. So can you and your husband approach it that way? Because a lot of times we're like, well, you said 5 years ago it was okay if she was an actor. Well, now she's fucking miserable. Now it's not okay. You can change your mind because you get new information. So I would say approach it just from today. Like, you're not saying you want her to have a star on the Walk of Fame when she's 22. Today, what are the actions you'd like to take? Look at the results. Is everybody capable of joy in this moment? Then just take the next action instead of deciding she's going to have a career. Because that's what I still have to do in my career.
Can you always say, what's your saying? You're always like, I am waiting for the next indicated action?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, take the next indicated action. I cannot take the next 20 indicated actions.
Man, I want to!
Oh man, I want to be there so bad. Life.
Well, thank you. And Kim, yesterday you said your non-favorite cuss word is dick. You should also try dildo.
Dildo. Someone mentioned, I forgot twat waffle.
Lots of twat waffles. Lots of twat waffle. I've never heard twat waffle more times in my entire life.
That was dick is a swear word?
You have something you're holding in what?
What's a twat waffle?
Exactly. It's the thing you stick a lemon up.
It's probably not a baked good.
Yeah.
A twat waffle.
I believe if you really want to get into it, it would be an uncomfortable and disgusting conversation.
Oh, okay. Can we?
Can you fix a twat waffle with a dildo? That's what I'm...
No, I believe it takes antibiotics to fix the twat waffle.
I was gonna say, I'm like, sounds like
I believe you got it in a dildo.
twat waffle. Oh, it's so good. Twat waffle.
Ruth is with me now. There we go.
I'm lost in waffle. Waffle House, guys.
You know what Ruth's having for lunch? Twat waffles. Can I get some maple syrup on my twat waffle? Whipped butter if you've got it.
And a slice of lemon.
I like syrup on my twat waffle.
Yeah. You know what? I can't finish my twat waffle. Can I box it up?
Are you gonna eat that twat waffle?
Can I finish the twat waffle? Oh, the fun never
Learning
ends.
so much, you guys.
So good.
Don't bring the girls in before 10. They'll all want twat waffles.
Hey, maybe we should put that into one of our now called twat waffles. I'm gonna merch a twat waffle.
But yes, to answer your question, enjoy your child. And
Lego my twat waffle. I hope my mom sees this on Twitter.
I know.
Also, maybe we are helping her with her question. Don't go into
This is what happened. All right, questions. Go ahead.
My question is for the character of Jody and Donna. If you guys could switch with Sam and Dean, what's the first thing you would do?
What would you do? There's no way that any woman who was in a man's body wouldn't go, you know what, I just want a sec to figure this thing out.
I'm pretty sure the opposite would be like them doing this.
Oh,
right?
100%. That's the first thing men say is they're just like, I just want to play with my boobs for a whole day. Just play with boobs. I'm like, I don't want to like necessarily do sexy things to a dink. I just want to like figure it out. I just want to know what's going on.
Out there, they're so easy. I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And then I would also probably, I don't know, go into the method of acting as, no, I'm just kidding, I play with things. What about you?
Same.
No high class answers over here, everyone.
Yeah, not from any lascivious reason, but just like, that would be my answer if you asked me if I was gonna switch place with any man.
And what happens with lemon?
Well,
Where's the yoni go?
there's still an option.
Clean.
I've seen videos.
What have you made?
www.makinglemonade.com.
LemonToiWaffle.com.
Right?
Does that answer your question? Thank you so much.
You're gonna ask them the same question. They're gonna have like the most deep, insightful,
They work so hard, and we're just like,
But really, they'd probably just be playing with boobs. So.
I hope so. That's what they would probably say, just not in front of
Can you ask them though, please?
somebody will ask them, I'm sure. Hi.
Hi, I just wanted to say that you guys are all beautiful and amazing, and I just love you.
Thank you.
I was wondering who inspired you, or was most influential when you were growing up?
Kim Rhodes.
Yeah, I stick with my answer from yesterday.
What was your answer? I wasn't here. Okay, Kim Rose. And I've still got a few inches to go, so there's still time. Rachel, it's just you left.
I don't know what to do. I have like serious answers, but
Somebody has to, Rachel.
Yeah, go for it, please. Help us.
I don't know. I mean, I this feels inappropriate for this.
What? You love inappropriate. Out of here.
No, because I was gonna just say like Gandhi, like a really.
No, that's we need that.
It's all right.
someone has to have
We
an
need
answer.
that. We need more of that.
I also
Same.
I also love some of the like fantasy films. So like, I really wanted to be the Empress in Neverending Story.
Yeah. Say my name.
Yes.
Yeah. And
That's
then
good.
Beyonce too. She was like, say my name. Just like people saying your name. I love it. I just like how people say it. Like, I like to hear different versions of my name. Aliana, Alenia, Aluminum. Just pause. I just get like a pause. I'm like, that's me. My maiden name is Kalange, so whenever someone's quiet, I'm like, I'm here. Like my ex-husband wanted to name our kids unique names. I was like, listen, John. Yeah, no one has ever said or spelled your name wrong.
I try to come up with different answers, and a moment just sprung to mind. I will tell you a story from my childhood. When I was in high school, I cussed a lot. And I wore all black. Right? And there was an English teacher that this little woman who just was confused and appalled by me constantly. And one day I purposely cussed in her class, and she said, "You will see me after school." And I was like, "Why?" She goes, "I am going to wash your mouth out with soap." All right, like you do not, I very rarely don't rise to a challenge. I showed up after school, and she looked at me, she said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "You're gonna wash my mouth out with soap." And she kind of, well, we don't really need to. Long story short, I basically was like, "Oh no, you said you would, you will." So we went into the teacher's bathroom and we talked for about 20 minutes. And it was the first time I told anybody about my life and realized that maybe I had some tough shit going on. Because as she was listening to me, and she took a little Dixie cup, she took a bar of soap, and she was washing the bar of soap around in the water, because I was going to rinse with the water, and she started to cry. And I didn't think there was any, whatever, it's just my life. Nobody knows their life. And she looks at me, she goes, "You don't have to do this if you don't want to." I was like, I said I would. And I rinsed my mouth, and I spat the soap out, and she gave me a hug and started to sob. And she said, "I'm so proud of you, and you can do anything you want to do." time that I saw the power of just listening and how listening not only changed my life, but it changed hers. Because I went from being this annoying troublemaker into a child whose needs were not getting met. And we both were different people after that, to each other and in the world. So, who made a big impact on my life? I have dozens of moments like that, but I just wanted to share that one story with you to encourage all of us. Don't make assumptions. Listen and show up for each other because it makes all the difference in the world.
My name's Kirsten, and my question's for all of you. I just find you guys like super inspirational and incredible mentors and teachers to everyone in the world and everyone who watches Supernatural and stuff like that. And I recently decided I want to be a teacher, so I just kind of wanted to. I just kind of wanted to get some advice on you guys because I want to be a teacher because I want to be there like for my students and to mentor them and help them make it through the world, kind of like your English teacher did for you. And I just kind of want your guys' opinions on ways that I can do that for my students and what you think I can follow when I'm teaching to do that.
Listen to them, meet them, be present for them, try to understand who they are. Just like Kim was just talking about, you have to, every child has different needs, and there's always a reason why they're behaving why they are. And there's no more important or more difficult task than what you've chosen. So just...
The fact that that is the question you're asking of yourself as a teacher tells me you have everything you need to do your job. That, and you're really fucking strict with them. Be nasty, make lots of rules that they can't possibly keep up with, punish them, and all kinds of sadistic. No, that's Rowena. You got it. You're fine.
Thank you. Yeah, but on a less funny note, but the same thing Ruth was saying, you don't need to be liked. And you don't need to be cool. That's one of the most difficult things I found with teaching was that you're not always going to be liked, and sometimes what they need is guidance, not the cool teacher. So even though you want to be present and give them what they need, they might not always respond with thinking that's awesome. Because what they might think is awesome at that time is just to run amok and, not learn anything or whatever it is. Yeah. Anyway.
I would like to finally add, listening doesn't mean fixing. Every child is not your job. Because if you take on fixing, you will burn out. And this world needs you. So take care of yourself. But care about yourself first.
That to me is everything. The coach that I work with talks about seeing everyone through the green lens. Every single person in this room has their own answers. And if you treat children in front of you like they have in their souls their own answers, and you're just there to facilitate their learning, then you're not fixing, exactly as you're saying. Right.
Thank you. And I just want to thank you, Kim, because honestly, that's why I quit teaching. So I needed to hear that probably sooner.
I remind you of it now, too.
Thank you.
Sometimes it's okay to fix people, though, really, right?
When they really fucking need fixing.
Yeah, when they need it. You just tell them. Yeah.
Hi, my question for any of you is, what has been the biggest obstacle or struggle for you in your life, whether it be with your acting career or just your life in general, and what did you learn from that, and how did you come out on top?
What a hard fucking question today. My obstacle for sure in my life was learning to love and accept the way I look. I struggled. Thank you. I was always, my entire life, overweight. Ever since I was a tiny little girl, I used to go to birthday parties and be it, you know, as an 8-year-old girl and have little girls be making fun of the way I looked in a bathing suit. And so when I was young, I didn't understand that, because when you're young, you're kind of a sponge, and so you don't understand about what it feels like to be insecure in your body. And then in high school, I would walk down the hallways and people just shouting things as I'm just walking from class to class. And so I kind of endured that my entire life and just had decided my body was my enemy. And then as I got older, I started to develop tools and skills that had nothing to do with the way I looked, and things that I could be proud of that didn't involve me having to look a certain way, and one of those things was acting. And I loved acting because I could be in my body while also being somebody else. And when I started to develop confidence over other skills, then I started to care less what other people thought about the thing that I felt sad about. And then I started to love myself a little bit more, and I started to love my body and accept my body. And then I realized that this is it. This is it. This body is not going anywhere. I have it forever, and it is the most important relationship I will have with anybody in my entire life. And once I had that realization, the world opened up to me. As soon as I stopped hating myself, people started seeing me differently, I feel. And I started accepting my body as it is, and I started being nice to it and started talking nicely to it. And it is a growing relationship that I have, and I every day send love to that little 8-year-old girl at the birthday party, because she's me, and she had a journey, and we all have to go through a journey to accept ourselves, and some people are still working on it. And I send love out to all of those people who are still working on it, and I want you to know that if you keep working on it, you will find love within your body, and that you will love yourself for the rest of your life.
Oh, I hate this. Just touch your foot because you've got the cutest feet.
Thank you. People have said that to me before. I'm surprised.
I love the fact that like Ruth is cussing and Brianna is crying. I'm so contagious.
I'm still working on it, and my biggest obstacle has always been myself. I think that's just, life's an inside job, and appearances can be deceptive. You can have it. I've had a similar struggle. I'm still working on it. So thank you for seeing this.
This is a really amazingly difficult question, because I think we were all, like, I was sitting here trying to think if I could talk without crying, and I think we're all in that position. But if we answer honestly, it's weird, it's almost the same answer universally. I know for me it was, it's self-hatred.